They thought they were untouchable. They thought their fortress in Washington would protect them forever. They weaponized our intelligence agencies, fabricated evidence, and tried to destroy a duly elected president. But something just happened that changes everything. The hunters have become the hunted. October is circled on their calendars, and this time it's not for Halloween parties in Martha's Vineyard. The grand jury is seated, the whistleblowers are talking, and the most powerful people in the Democrat machine are about to face something they never expected: accountability. What you're about to see will prove the Russia hoax was worse than we ever imagined. So stay with me. Now, if you're getting close to retirement or just thinking ahead, you've probably done a solid job of saving, but here's something most people don't consider. How much of that money is just sitting in cash? It might feel safe, but holding too much cash guarantees only one thing: you are losing purchasing power. Inflation eats away at it, and the dollar's value keeps slipping, and that's why more people are looking at real assets like physical gold and silver to protect their savings. Noble Gold Investments makes it easy. Visit nextnewsgold.com, and when you own real assets, you have real wealth. The number on the screen, 877-646-5347. Tell Colin that Gary Franchi said hello. Now, before I get into the big bombshell, I have another bombshell to drop, so stay with me on this. This is on the international front, totally out of left field, that dropped into my news feed last night. Cambodia now wanting Trump's name on their most important highway. An extraordinary act of global admiration. Cambodian journalist Soy Sophip calls on his government to rename the nation's #1 economic artery, Route 4, after President Donald J. Trump. Why? Because President Trump brokered peace between Cambodia and Thailand, ending decades of border tensions. And while Cambodia honored the ceasefire, Thailand broke it, kidnapping 20 Cambodian soldiers, 18 still in captivity. Trump's name now stands for regional stability. In this short video you're going to see, he makes a direct plea to name the 140-mile U.S.-built highway Donald Trump Boulevard, stating he is the most important person for the Cambodian people. He has worked hard recently for the ceasefire. This is to put respect on the whole Cambodian people. Now, Michael Alfaro, the international diplomacy strategist, put it bluntly. He said that by continuing to hold these soldiers, Thailand is making Trump look like a liar. A grave insult to the very leader who made peace possible. Here is the historic statement, and then we are going to get into what is going on with Russiagate.
I'm your reporter from Cambodia. Yesterday, I created one idea that I want to see the road number 4, national road number 4, that constructed by American government since 1950, 1960, and reconstructing during the 1990s after the civil war in Cambodia. So now we have named all the leaders in the world, especially Mao Zedong and others leaders. So now I would like to propose to the government of Cambodia that consider that the national road number 4 should be named by American president led by Mr. Donald J. Trump. That he is the most very important for Cambodian people, that he have worked hard recently for the ceasefire, immediately ceasefire between Cambodia and Thailand. So in order to respect and full respect and a whole Cambodian people, we want to see if the government can consider national number 4 become the road Mr. President Donald Trump of the American. Thank you. I'm your reporter from Cambodia.
Now, here we have breaking news. James Comer and GOP oversight have issued subpoenas to DOJ for Epstein files, along with multiple subpoenas going out in the next day or so to Bill Clinton, AG Barr, AG Garland, etc., to testify regarding the Epstein case. That is directly from Anna Paulina Luna. Here we have from James Comer, House oversight compelling the following individuals to appear for depositions through issued subpoenas: former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton on October 9th, former President Bill Clinton October 14th, U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland, October 2nd. Former FBI Director James Comey, October 7th. Former U.S. Attorney General William Barr, August 18th. U.S. Attorney General former Alberto Gonzales, August 26th. Former U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions, August 28th. Former FBI Director Robert Mueller, September 2nd. Attorney General Loretta Lynch, September 9th. And former U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder, September 30th. And we have this from Van Jones. Half the country believes a lot of dumb stuff, including from Republicans, but no one's going to try and put anyone in prison over it. What?
It's very different from Well, half the country believes a lot of dumb stuff, including a lot of dumb stuff that comes from Republicans, but nobody's trying to put anybody in prison over it. Listen, we live in a.
They tried to put Donald Trump in jail, Van.
Hold on a second. They tried to put Donald Trump in jail over stuff that he got indicted for, but the country went ahead and reelected him anyway. Look, my point is this. It is in fact the case. People believe a lot of wacky stuff and nutty stuff in my party and in your party. That is very different from the Department of Justice saying they're going to put somebody in prison over it. That's a different world. We've not been in a world before. Listen, you served in the White House. I served in the White House. The idea you're going to somehow now go to jail because people misinterpreted what you did in there, I think this is very, very scary stuff, man.
Well, scary stuff, yeah, for Democrats indeed. Here is the breaking news on the grand jury now being announced.
A show with some big breaking news, and we're going to go straight to Fox News correspondent David Spunt for the details. David.
Well, Will, good to be with you. This is coming out of the Justice Department. Fox News can confirm that Attorney General Pam Bondi today signed an order directing an unnamed U.S. federal prosecutor to take evidence to a grand jury relating to an alleged conspiracy to tie then 2016 candidate Donald Trump to the country of Russia. Now, Fox News reviewed the one-page order just hours ago signed by the Attorney General. A source familiar with the probe confirms this as well, while a DOJ spokesperson declined to comment on this report of an investigation. Fox is told Attorney General Bondi is taking the referrals from Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, quote, very seriously. The spokesperson says that Bondi believes there is, quote, clear cause for deep concern, end quote, and a need for the next steps. Now, this move, Will, comes just a couple of weeks after the Director of National Intelligence, you see her right there, Tulsi Gabbard, sent a criminal referral to the Justice Department regarding what she says proves there was a conspiracy to undermine Trump's candidacy and later his first term in office. Now, to be clear today, there are no charges that have been filed, no indictments. This is incredibly early in the process. What we have here is taking evidence the Justice Department believes it has to a grand jury to secure an eventual indictment or indictments. We don't know exactly where the grand jury will meet. We don't know who will go before the grand jury, and that's by design, because grand juries determine if there's enough evidence to indict, and grand juries are secretive in the American legal system, so it's normal not to know all of the answers. Again, the DOJ declining on any comment regarding this investigation. But, Will, big news, this was signed by the Attorney General Pam Bondi today to take this evidence of an alleged conspiracy to a grand jury with the hope to get an indictment or multiple indictments.
Yeah, baby, let's go. This is huge news. Here's Jonathan Turley talking about the Russiagate grand jury.
Ever was. This is the first necessary step to finding out about the real Russian conspiracy. There never was a Russian collusion conspiracy. That was hatched by the Clinton campaign. They secretly funded the Steele dossier. They denied that to the media. And they laid out this very successful political hit job using the media, using the government. It's amazing how much the public still doesn't know. But in the last few weeks, this administration has given us information that we haven't seen before. I've been following this, writing about it for years. Some of this is new stuff, and it's startling. This is the first necessary step.
The first necessary step for justice. And here we have the confirmation of the 20 CIA, FBI whistleblowers who have come forward. Check this out.
The president-elect, Donald Trump, brainwash the electorate and undermine the legitimacy of an election.
There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. They knew it would promote this contrived narrative that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help President Trump win, selling it to the American people as though it were true. It wasn't.
Gabbard got her hands on a House intel report that's been locked away in a CIA vault for almost a decade. Investigators spent over 2,000 hours looking into how the Russia hoax was born, interviewing 20 CIA and FBI officials. And it turns out that the Obama administration doctored the intelligence to make it look like Putin and Trump stole the election. A month after Trump beat Hillary,
20 former CIA agents and FBI agents coming forward. Here is General Flynn.
We'll feel vindicated. So we now, I feel vindicated? I will feel vindicated when I see Barack Obama get, have
Amen.
Handcuffs on, being escorted from his house and being brought into jail. I would say right now, if I were in the Department of Justice, or if I was in the White House, I would demand that the Attorney General immediately take away the passports from these individuals who we know have already been named. And there's some others that have not been named yet. Take away the passports. Do not allow them to leave this country, because I guarantee they're waking up, this morning saying, where can I go? We got to get the hell out of here, because they're.
So there you have General Flynn revoke the passports. Here's CNN senior legal analyst Ellie Honig saying election interference and manufacturing intelligence are not crimes, but yeah, maybe for a Democrat.
What the potential? So that's my question. I know I'm here to answer questions. What's the crime? I mean, what's even the potential crime? Seriously, I mean, I'm not trying to be confrontational here. Can anyone at this table even articulate what the potential crime might be?
I mean, election interference, manufactured intelligence,
not a crime, not a crime.
Of
You're
voter
0 for 2.
Rights,
Not a crime.
Obstruction of justice.
You've said a crime now. What is obstruction of justice?
And anything the grand jury says it is.
No, and to that point, let me further say with this.
Most of these crimes have a statute of limitation of 5
There
years.
you go. That's where I was going next.
So that's
right?
the problem.
I mean, this is ancient history legally, right? The statute of limitations on almost every federal crime is 5 years. This stuff was 9 years ago.
There's an ongoing conspiracy, and so that could
Sure. If there's an ongoing conspiracy that stretches into 5 years ago, then you would not have a statute of limitations problem. The crimes that Tulsi Gabbard has articulated, I don't know if she's a lawyer, she's definitely not at the Justice Department, are treason and sedition. I mean, that means trying to overthrow the government and waging war against the United States. We are so far out over the edge here with this. And look, so that's my question. I know I'm here to answer questions. What's the crime?
Yeah, what's the crime? It's called sedition. That's what the crime is called. So let's just be very clear about that. Here we have from Silverlock FBI, Dan Bongino, chilling foreshadowing of what the FBI uncovering now makes perfect sense.
Director of the FBI, I have been emphasizing a piece of footage to you that the rest of the media has completely forgotten about. Back in May, the deputy director of the FBI, quick chat, who is that? Anybody, any guesses? The deputy director of the FBI goes on the Fox News channel, and he announces something very provocative, very mysterious. It's that the FBI has discovered a room full of documents that were meant to be kept from Americans.
And there was a room, and we found stuff. A lot of stuff. A hidden room. I wouldn't call it hidden, but hidden from us at least, and not mentioned to us. And then we found stuff in there, and a lot of it's from the Comey era. Once that gets done and that gets out there, and you read some of the stuff we found, that, by the way, was not processed through the normal procedure, digitizing it, putting in FBI records. We found it in bags, hiding under Jim Comey's FBI. Quickly, you're going to be stunned.
Well, we've learned a lot since then. We've learned a lot since then about what Dan is talking about. A lot. In fact, this weekend, as they released this Durham Annex, a classified intelligence report, one of the details we've learned is that these documents that are just declassified were apparently in that room. One of the documents in the burn bags that were in that room was the Durham Annex, which this strikes me as completely crazy. Look at this Fox News report. Patel found thousands of sensitive Trump-Russia probe docs inside of burn bags in a secret room at the FBI. I got a lot of questions about this, and hopefully one day I can get some answers directly from Dan on this subject. But one, are you telling me that the only copy of the classified Durham Annex was inside of a burn bag smuggled away to a room somewhere at the FBI?
To see more, make sure to check out Vince. You can see it every day, 10 Eastern, rumble.com.
The burn bag was discovered. No backing out now. NBC operatives being forced to report about the grand jury.
The grand jury. Some more news breaking this hour to tell you about. Attorney General Pam Bondi has ordered a grand jury investigation into the so-called Russiagate conspiracy allegations made by the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. A senior Trump administration official confirms to NBC News. That investigation was first reported by Fox News. These are unsubstantiated and largely debunked allegations by the Trump administration that former President Barack Obama and his aides in the intelligence community ordered a probe into the 2016 Trump campaign's connections to Russia to ruin his chances of becoming president. The source tells NBC News that a letter signed by Pam Bondi instructs an unnamed federal prosecutor to begin presenting evidence to secure potential indictments, although it is unclear what the charges would be and exactly who the grand jury will be targeting. We'll stay on top.
I think we all know. I think we all know the charges. Sedition, Hillary, Obama, Comey, Brennan. Yeah. See, MSNBC is going to try and play it down like they don't even know. Yeah. Yeah, this game is just getting started, folks, and we're going to be here for every single minute of it. Let's listen to Tom Fitton's take.
See where they... Well, here we are in Washington, D.C., where they just passed the one big, beautiful bill, which is good news for those of us, like virtually everyone, who still want to see their taxes go up. But now that that's out of the way, I want to see one big, beautiful grand jury investigation and other criminal prosecutions of the lawfare against President Trump. We're now 6 months into 2025. We've got to get it going. And of course, Judicial Watch has its own independent investigations. But Congress and the Justice Department and the FBI or a separate entity need to get going to uncover the terrible corruption that nearly destroyed our republic, the effort to get Trump and abuse Americans under the color of law.
If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. So this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Merrick Garland, they're all getting hauled in for depositions. 20 whistleblowers just blew the lid off Obama's role in fabricating the Russia hoax. The grand jury isn't meeting in their protected D.C. bubble. It's in Florida, where Trump's home was raided. Remember when they rifled through Melania's underwear drawer? Well, Karma just knocked on their door with a battering ram. They spent years trying to jail Trump for crimes that never existed while they committed actual treason. They buried evidence in CIA vaults, weaponized the FBI, and turned our intelligence agencies into their personal attack dogs. Now General Flynn wants Obama's passport seized before he runs. So here's my question. Should we prosecute every single person involved in the Russia hoax conspiracy? Yes or no? Drop your answer below, and while you're fired up, check out our Next News merch shop. It's linked in the description where you can trigger a liberal today at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com.